Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our beloved lecturer, Madam Siti Fatimah Nur binti Minhad. We are from MAC2204A and we are choosing Damansara Holding Berhad as a company for our video assignment. Our group members. The first one is me, Muhammad Sallehudin bin SAMUDIN. The second is Muhammad SYUKRAN bin MOHAMED DESA. Next is Muhammad HAZIQ bin ABDUL MANAF. And the last one is Nur SABRINA binti ABDUL HALAN. Today we would like to discuss about 4 main topics in our video. The first one is company background. Second is management approach. The third one is segmental reporting. And the last one is conclusion, advantage and disadvantages of segment reporting. First one is company background. Damansara Holding Berhad was formerly known as Damansara Realty Berhad, and it is an investment holding company that was established in 1960 and was listed in main board of Bursa Malaysia in 1973. This company is involved 3 major core business segments, which are property and land development. The second one is integrated facilities management, and the last one is project management and consultancy service. Next, I will tell you about the history of this company. In 1960, there was date of incorporation, and in 1973, this company is being listed on the main board of Bursa Malaysia. In 1991, this company is setting up Metro Parking MP as a parking operator in Malaysia. In 1995, there was incorporation of HTS as a consulting services in healthcare sector. This company diversified its offerings in facilities management and cleaning services under TMR and HCD in 1997. While in 2000, developed further into asset management such as real estate, property management, and also logging operations. While in 2006, this company further strengthened its operations and its construction, property and development, hotel management, and advertising. In 2009, this company is explored their business opportunity. While in 2014, this company being taken over by Seaview Holding Sdn Berhad. In 2016, they synergize all subsidiaries through 3 business segments, which are PLD, IFM, and PMC. In 2017, this company transformed into DBH. 2018, incorporation of DBMC, which specialized in the field of property, healthcare, and human capital training. Damansara Berhad also sells HTS to Johor Corporation. In 2019, the inception of Damansara Technology to spearhead DBHG Digital Technology Initiative. In 2020, there was a rebranding of Damansara Realty Berhad to Damansara Holding Berhad. While in 2021, Johor Corporation took over Damansara Berhad. Now I would like to tell you about DBHD philosophy. Our mission is to synergize PLD, IFM, and also PMC towards innovative and effective solution. Our vision is to become the preferred assets and facilities management solution provider. Our core values is flexible with integrity, transparent with clarity, and united with synergy. DBHD has 35 years experience in consultancy management, project planning, and consultant management. The worth of property is 3.5 billion ringgit Malaysia, and the current revenue of this company is 189.55 million, and they have around 1.38 thousand employees. This company is not only in Malaysia, but they are also in Singapore and Philippines.
Now, I'm presenting about the factors to consider having a segment reporting. One of the factors is nature of product or services. It refers to what kind of product or services that an entity provides. As we know, Damansara Berhad has 3 main segments. Firstly, PLD, they provide the development of residential and commercial properties. Next, IFM, they provide the provision of assets and facilities management of property services and provision of related consultancy services. And lastly, PMC, they provide the provision of project management and consultancy services, construction management, energy management services, hospital planning, and so on. And the other factor is nature of production process. It refers to how their services and product are provided. Next, type of customer. It refers to how they classify their customer, for instance, based on geographic segmentation, based on income, based on interest, and so on. And the last factor is method to provide the service. It refers to how the products and services are being delivered to their clients and customers. There are two types of segment, which are business segment and geographical segment. Firstly, business segment. It is a component of an entity that is engaged in providing an individual product or services or a group of related product or services, and that is subject to risk and returns that are different from those of other business. Next, geographical segment. It is a component of an entity that is engaged in providing an individual product or services within a particular economic environment, and that is subject to risks and returns that are different from those of other economic environment. There are two types of segment, which are business segment and geographical segment. Firstly, business segment. It is a component of an entity that is engaged in providing an individual product or services or a group of related product or services, and that is subject to risks and returns that are different from those of other business. Next, geographical segment. It is a component of an entity that is engaged in providing an individual product or services within a particular economic environment, and that is subject to risks and returns that are different from those of other economic environment. There are four major operating segments, which are holding company, PMC, project management consultancy, IFM, integrated facilities management, and PLD, property and land development. Next one is Chief of Decision Making and its responsibilities. Chief Operating Decision Maker, or known as CODM, is a person whose function is to assess the performance of the various segments and decide on allocation of resources in the segments. Normally, they review regularly. It could be a Chief Executive Officer, CEO, or Chief Operating Officer, COO, or Chief Financial Officer, CFO, and so on. For the CODM of Damansara Holding Berhad are Datuk Nur Azri bin Zulfaqar as a non-independent non-executive chairman, Muazzam bin Mahmud as a group managing director, and then there are three independent non-executive directors, which are Datuk Mohamed Nasir bin Ali, Vini Choi Pui Ling, and Sharizam bin A. Shuko, and the last one, Sharina binti Ismail as a group company secretary. There are some of the responsibilities of the CODM, which are supervise and assess the management performance to determine whether the business is being properly managed, and also ensure there is a sound framework for internal control and risk management are also the responsibilities of them. Next, they need to understand the principal risk of the company business, and they need to recognize that business decision involve the taking of appropriate risk, and other than that, set risk appetite which the board expect management need to operate, and ensure that there is an appropriate risk management framework to identify, manage, evaluate, analyze, and monitor significant financial and non-financial risk. And the last one, they need ensure that the strategic plan of the company support long-term value creation and include strategies on economic, environment, and social considerations underpinning sustainability.
Now I will present about the process to identify the reportable segment and non-reportable segment. According to MFRS 8, operating segment requirement, an entity shall report its information separately with regards to the operating segment only if it passed the quantitative threshold test of 10% threshold test and 75% test rule. To identify the qualification reportable operating segment, 10% threshold test consists of 3 tests that are revenue basis, profit or loss basis, and total asset basis, in which it must satisfy 10% or more since Damansara Holding Berhad using total asset basis and measuring its operating segment. Therefore, 75% test will be evaluated based on its total reported revenue from sales to external customer and inter-segment. For the 10% threshold test, if the company decided to do 10% test on revenue, the total revenue of the particular segment must be 10% or more than the total revenue of all operating segment. Next, for profit or loss, a segment profit or loss must be 10% also or more than the combines of all profit or loss of operating segment. And last but not least, for asset segment, asset also must be 10% or more than the total of combination asset of all operating segment. Presentation of 10% threshold test on segment asset of all operating segment of Damansara Holding Berhad is applied. For the calculation, segment asset of an operating segment are divided with combined asset of all operating segment. For example, holding segment with 52,888,000 asset value are divided with the total asset of 317,174,000. Based on the calculation, only project management consultancy is non-reportable segment while the others are classified as reportable segment. It is because project management consultancy does not meet the 10% quantitative threshold test of asset basis, which is segment asset must be 10% or more than the total of combined asset of all operating segment. According to 10% quantitative threshold test, 4 out of 5 are considered as reportable segment. So from that, 75% threshold test need to be performed in this test. The combination of external revenue of the reportable segment must be more or equal to 75% of the entity's total external revenue. If the test did not meet the 75 test, we must find additional segment until it meets 75% of the entity's total external revenue, although the segment fails the 10% quantitative threshold test. As we look into the external revenue of reportable segment, only 3 segments that have external revenue. So, we total up the external revenue of integrated facility management, property and land development, and others, we will get 296,036,000 divided with the total revenue of all segments, which is amounting to 297,286,000 times with 100%, and we will get 99.58%, which is more than 75%. Therefore, the reportable segment comply with the 75% threshold test.
Advantages of segment reporting. First, shareholders are able to gain an overview of company performance. Shareholders can get better understanding of the company's activities by using this segmental reporting. This means companies will be aware of the company's current status. Because this segmental report is displayed from all of the facts and perspectives that the management consider when making decisions to make it easier for the shareholders to track their company's progress. Secondly, better decision making. Segmental reporting enables chief of decision making to make better decisions in allocating the company's resources. This is because each of the segments have their own profits and performance. Based on the performance, CODM can decide which of the segment they need to put extra caution if the segment falls below the good performance. Disadvantages of segment reporting. Firstly, allocation problems. These problems occur when there are common costs needed to be allocated to 2 or more operating segments, for example, administrative costs and legal costs. Secondly, data manipulation. There will be a possibility that the data will be manipulated when the information are being recorded as using the management preferences. This is because the leader has more power and authority on the company's software.
Basis of preparation interim report has two methods, which are integral method and discrete method. Accounting policies. Damansara Berhad has adopted the amendments of MFRS 108 and MFRS 9.
As a public listed company, Bursa Malaysia has encouraged them to prepare and publish interim financial reporting on the quarterly basis. Damansara Holding Berhad has prepared a condensed interim financial report for their company, and the interim financial report has been prepared quarterly. This interim report consists of 3 months and will be prepared up to 4 quarters, which will find similarly with the closing date of the financial reporting. Next, the content that should be present is included all of each heading and subtotal that was included in the most recent annual financial statement. The selected explanatory notes that focus on the significant changes in the financial position since last reporting date also required to be disclosed in the interim financial report. The company also need to disclose the basic only per share and diluted per share on the first of statement. If the item presents separately, the report should be prepared and consolidated basis if the annual financial statement was a consolidated statement. As for Damansara Holding Berhad, they has prepared consolidated statement of comprehensive income, condensed consolidated statement of financial position, condensed consolidated statement of changes in equity, condensed consolidation statement of cash flow, and selected explanatory notes.
These are the period of the current and comparative of each statement prepared by the company. Since Damansara Berhad prepared their interim report quarterly, we have agreed to choose the second quarter of the interim report. Firstly, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Damansara Berhad reported the current interim as at 1st October 2021 until 31st December 2021, while the comparative is as at 1st October 2020 until 31st December 2020. Secondly, statement of financial position for the current is as at 31st December 2021, while for the comparative is as at 30th June 2021. Since in view of the changes of the financial year end from 31st December 2020 to 30th June 2021, there were no comparative financial information available for the 6 months financial period end to 31st December 2031. Next, statement of changes in equity. The company reported the current report is as at 1st July 2031 until 31st December 2031, while for the comparative is as at 1st January 2020 until 31st December 2020. Lastly, statement of cash flow. Damansara Berhad reported that the current report is as at 31st December 2021, while for the comparative is as at 31st December 2020.
Finally, we come to our last part of presentation, which is to propose any two adjustment that is related to the interim report. So technically, as you can see, we are now adjust the cash flow of this company, where before the adjustment, the cash and cash equivalent as at 31st December 2021, where we took the second quarter are 33.526 million, and now we propose two things, which is disposal of property, plant and equipment 200,000 and dividend paid for 320,000. And now the investing activities become 228,000 and financing activities become 1.705 million, and it made cash and cash equivalent as at 31st December 2021 become 33.406 million.